Welcome to the We Run With It podcast. My name's Tim Murphy. This is my buddy Jason. How you doing, Jason?
Good, man.
So today I wanted to go over a couple different things, but I wanted you to start us off by telling us a little bit about yourself and what got you into your powerlifting phase.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit about me. Like I've been lifting for several years now, but I feel like I've kind of gone through different phases with it and stuff. And lately, I just feel like I haven't had a goal. It's just been very sporadic as far as like what I'm doing. And one day I'll go in and just kind of decide when I'm there. Next day, probably skip legs again and go to the other day. And
Yeah.
and no, I needed a goal, something to stay on track, something to stay focused and stick with a plan and trust the process on it. And
Yeah.
where we're at now.
Yeah, I feel that. I've been going through that phase.
Yeah.
Like, last year I signed up for things, I picked them so that it made sense with
Yeah.
my year, and then this year I didn't really pick anything yet.
Yeah.
Well, I finally did, and then it's like sometimes I go in the gym for a week on end and I'm like, am I even accomplishing anything, or am I just going to go? Which isn't a bad thing.
No,
either,
going through the motions is better than sitting there being
True.
stagnant in bed and doom scrolling all day long. But I don't know. At the end of the day, like if you're not chasing something, like you lose that rewarding feeling of your why.
Oh yeah,
So,
absolutely. So your handle on Instagram is deadlifts and dispatch.
It is, yeah.
Why?
First of all, I wanted to keep it away from like my personal account. Right? Like I got my friends and family on one account and share like life updates then. On the other hand, I've been a emergency dispatcher for going on 19 years now.
That's incredible.
I feel like there's not a lot of crossover, which kind of makes it unique. There's not a lot of people that sit at a desk. They're also training for something hard. But also at the same time, there is a lot of crossover as far as like the resilience goes. 1 minute you could be taking a barking dog call. Next minute you've got somebody that's shot. Next minute you're back to somebody else complaining about the same dog. So there's a lot of mental resilience that goes up and down, and it's the same thing in the weight room. Not every day is gonna be a good day. You got to get through it. You got to trudge along. You got to keep that mental fortitude to keep going. And so there's some crossover in that sense, but it's been fun. I've got a strong community of first responders that I deal with every day. A lot of the stuff that you see in the gym is like first responder and that sort of mindset, forged fitness sort of thing. But there's not a lot of love for the dispatch side of things. We're kind of the middle ground between a lot of these people. But
It's like the unsung heroes.
exactly, yeah. You're
You're not out in the public eye.
Exactly that. So kind of bringing some awareness to that also. Also this week is our Think a Cop Week. It's National Telecommunicator Public Safety Week.
Oh, wow.
Something like that. I'm sure that I messed that wording up. But yeah, so the more that I can bring light into that, we're also there and we're also real people that go through the same challenges that everybody else does. It's kind of the mission, the statement behind of what I'm doing.
Yeah, I like it. And recently, it was, what was it? In the past 6 months, you got promoted to supervisor, correct?
I did, yeah. Well, probably a little bit longer than 6. I think it was July of last year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's been a while. How's that been going?
It's been going good. It's been cool to take everything that I already knew and also bring it into the new people.
Yeah.
Right now my crew is very junior. The shift that I'm on is generally the ones that the junior crew goes to. So me being their first line supervisor and sharing my wealth of knowledge that I have with them, and also knowing not to expect that they haven't been doing this for that long. So
Yeah.
teaching them, coaching them on different ways, but being able to lead and be a positive influence without being somebody that pushes them away from the job.
Yeah, I like that. I think, to your point too, seeing if they follow you on Instagram or just talk to you, obviously seeing that you're doing that outside of work is also a great point of leadership.
It is. One of the things that I preach to everybody, and it's not just the new people, but even outside of my industry, is we get very wrapped up in our jobs.
Yeah.
Right? Having that outlet, we take some hard calls, right? Some people stew in it, they hold on to it, they don't let it go. I think the gym is a great place to get rid of that, right? Throw in your headphones, put on your favorite, your favorite station or album or whatever, and just get in there and grunge it out, sweat it out.
Let it rip.
Exactly. Your whole mindset after that has changed. Granted, you can still hold on to some of that stuff. afterwards, right? But as long as you're dealing with it in a healthy outlet and not going to the bar and getting drunk trying to forget about it.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yes, we all have.
Similar process with We Run With It. It keeps me on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of that, how are you enjoying the process so far of your training with the powerlifting?
I mean, if I didn't just get injured, it'd be a little bit different, probably a different mindset.
Yeah.
But I started really, like, the whole focus was in late November, knowing that I needed to make a change, first of all, with my body. Like, I was sitting at like 179 pounds, and if I brought my meat numbers at 179 pounds, like, I'd be laughed off the stage. Like, those using that weight class are insane.
Yeah.
So I needed to shed a lot of the body weight, a lot of the fat, to get down to like a more respectable level. And like I knew I needed to do that for just my own well-being anyway. I didn't want to be walking around at like 25-26% body fat and like going into summer, right? Like sitting on the paddleboard or something like that, just feeling fat. And so like I wanted to make that change for my body, but getting back I dropped down to like 140 pounds.
Did you
at
really?
one point, yeah.
Wow.
So a little over 30 pounds total that I dropped. And then at 140, I was like, I'm a scrawny little bitch, and I need to put some muscle back on. No longer strong anymore. That was also like, speaking of resilience, like going from, squatting almost 350 pounds to then like 135 pounds felt heavy.
Yeah, it is a big difference.
And then knowing though that I'm like, strength will come back quicker than the fat loss.
Yeah,
so that was something that I had to get through. Like I was texting with Victoria. It's challenging going to the gym, like the 50-pound weights that you were doing, for 3 sets of 10 reps before. Now that's like your top set and you're struggling for 1 or 2. Like it's a rough transition, but finally getting back to like where the strength was at, and body weight's adapting very well.
What do you sit at now again?
Body weight wise, like 155.
Oh,
so like I've put on like an extra 15 pounds, but a lot of that has also been muscle that's been built back and smarter calories this time than the pizza and soda and stuff that and past
Dairy
that.
Queen or something.
Exactly. Oh man.
Ice cream's my go.
Still, me too. I still sneak in some Halos here.
They're
so good. But like just keeping an eye on what macros I'm hitting, making sure of anything is getting my protein.
Yeah.
Making sure that I'm getting enough calories total because like I want to get bigger and larger, but not full of fat either.
Yeah. What's your goal for your meet's when? August?
Yeah, August 15th. Yeah.
What are you shooting for numbers?
So I'll be 75 kilogram weight class, which is like around 165, like 165 and some change. Hoping, if all goes well, and if I knock on wood, wherever it's at, stay injury free. Hoping for like a 375 squat, which I think I should easily hit that. At least 275 bench press, which also I should easily hit that. Knock on wood again.
Yeah.
And then deadlift is kind of the wild card factor because I feel like that strength is like shooting up like quicker than I anticipated.
Oh, that's good.
I wanted minimum 405, but I think I should be able to get to like 455.
Oh wow!
So
yeah, that would be
at
that body weight. That's good.
Yeah, that would be epic. Also, those numbers would put me in all 3 of them for state record holding. So that would be pretty cool to get a clean sweep, state records, and put some medals on the wall.
Hell yeah, dude! I love that. Switching up a little bit, just because I know you're from. I've known you for like a year now. Yeah. We actually met in the gym.
We did. Downstairs.
I forget what. Right downstairs from here. I forget what did I walk up to you or did you walk up to me? I can't even remember. I think we just were like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, pretty much. Like the general bros do, right?
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah. I'm glad, obviously.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, last summer you went through a little bit of a running phase. You want to take us through that? Like, take us through the pros and cons of it, and you think it's something that you do again?
I'm going to say life is full of failures, and that was one of them. I was just training, didn't have a goal. Realized that I needed something to keep me accountable, and I hopped on Runna, the app, and I was like, cool, this tells me day by day what I need to be doing, how far I need to be running, at what pace. And it was great, and some life changes happened. We had a dog that passed and kind of got derailed on there. And I wasn't motivated to hop back in.
Yeah.
I realized the only reason that I was running is because I had signed up for a goal, not because I was enjoying it. It was just a very I didn't feel rewarded afterwards.
That makes sense.
And not to say like, some days you get that runner's high and you're like, oh, it's great. You go home and do all the chores and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like I just felt like I was beating my body up, and
Yeah.
I wasn't excited to go do it the next day. Not to say that I wouldn't do it again, because life is, you got these ebbs and flows of everything. But
because your goal was half marathon, right?
It was,
and
yeah.
You ended up doing the 10K though.
Yeah, I ended up doing the 10K, and like that was fine. Like there was, unfortunately, the dog passed like a month and a half before the run.
Yeah.
So lost a lot of my momentum, and then also didn't really pick it back up.
Yeah, I get that.
And it happens, right? Like it's life is inevitable. Like sometimes you just got to face the challenges and do it.
Yeah, I think it's important too, especially with everything you're seeing on social media now too, is like the running did get huge in the past couple of years.
For sure.
I mean, I only hopped on Instagram like legitly. I don't even know if that's a word for real. Probably 4 or 5 years ago, and then We Run With It. I don't even know how that popped in my head either. It just came up.
Yeah.
Just because I got into it, but it was like people were starting to 4 or 5 years ago. People were really getting into it, and then the past couple of years, it's just blown up. And I think it's important. That's kind of why I asked the question, because I think it's important for people to realize, like, hey, not every activity is for everybody.
That's right.
Like there's like I can't stand. I did the Ironman last year.
Yeah.
I can't stand sitting on a bike.
Yeah.
I get done if I do more than a 20-mile bike ride, my lower back is lit up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad at work,
Yeah.
but I can go on I feel better on a 20-mile run than I do on a 20-mile bike ride.
Absolutely.
So I think it's important for people to hear that perspective. It's like, dude, it's all right if you start running and realize like, hey, maybe I'm just gonna run a mile or two a couple times a week.
Yeah.
Just to like stay in shape or go on a hike or whatever. Find something. I know you mountain bike as well.
Yeah. Just get moving.
Yeah.
Right? Like you'll stumble into something that you like.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that, like we all got cramped with COVID, right?
True.
Like we were told to stay inside and not be active, not do anything, don't go outside, and wear your mask in public, whatever. And then I think that kind of exploded after that. Not necessarily like just running, but people being active again and discovering like, oh, it's nice to get outside.
Yep.
At least, I mean, I know that was part for me at least.
Yeah. It was one of the positive things about COVID.
Right.
However, it also led to like everybody. Again, it's like we say we're goal oriented, which we are
for sure. Yeah.
And I know I definitely am, because I'm the same as you. If I don't have anything, I need like a month or two out of the year where I have nothing, and I just go to the gym and I don't know. I don't care if I do 100 pull-ups that day or whatever, but I feel like it's also something to say, like not everybody, especially if you're working a full-time job, not everybody needs to be the next David Goggins.
Right, exactly. It's funny you mentioned that. Like, I was going to go that direction also with like you get out of COVID and then everybody starts moving, and then we see this meteoric rise of influencers like David Goggins.
Yeah. Which I love, by the way.
Same. With that, like, I think he actually he motivated a lot of people to get out and just get going, right? Like start somewhere, push through the mental pain. Like he says, like it's just pain, right? Like
and it really is.
It really
Most
is.
of it really is.
Right.
Unless, like you said, an actual injury.
Yeah, well, of course, right? You got to listen to your body at some point, but if you're still moving and it's not catastrophic,
keep going. Yeah, that's true. What else do I got? I got your leadership one. Well, I'll stick with the running thing for one more. What was, although it wasn't your thing, like what was something positive you took away from it?
That I can do something that I like stick to the plan, right? Like a lot of times, like just if we have like one bad day, you give up, right? Or things don't go your way, you're no longer motivated to do it. Even though I didn't want to do it, like I stuck to the plan, kept going. Like I said, I fell off the wagon there for about a month or so with the dog, but I still finished, right? Like I may not have hit my goal, but I stuck to it and I did the damn thing and realized that I was like, okay, one and done could be my thing, but stuck to it, right? There's a lot of mental resilience that goes on with it. Not to say that I'm, by the perfect example of it by any means, but just stick it out.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's only a couple months out of the year. or however long your training program might end up being.
Yeah.
Stick to the plan.
I agree. Honestly, it was probably good for me to see that because like last fall I hit, I hit a lot of what I wanted to last year. It was strategic with, I think I had the Ironman in June or July, and then I had the High Rocks, and I hit what I wanted to hit for those, and I was happy. And then last fall, it was like 10 months of just going and being locked in, which I love, I can do. But then I realized like there is another side of me that enjoys just like going out and living life.
100%, yeah.
And I stopped doing that because every one of my trail runs had to be a pace. Everyone, and that's when it's like, honestly, if you're an athlete getting paid, obviously,
sure, yeah, that's
there's
your
going to
job.
be most of your job is to hit those paces and to hit those goals. If you're working full time, 50, 60 hours a week, just go out and move some days.
That's right.
Or just go do something. And I think seeing you kind of dial back and then adjust, but then still hit something. Yeah. I think that was cool for me to see.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm not perfect. Like there's definitely been the days where I'm like, I don't want to get out and don't want to go do anything.
Yeah.
My biggest thing though is that like if I try not to repeat the same thing twice, right? So like if one day I'm like not gonna train today, don't feel like getting out of bed, unmotivated, like motivation can only go so far before discipline has to kick in.
Yeah.
And as long as you don't let the discipline lose to the motivation, I think things are still going the right direction. So you can have those days where you fall off the wagon, where you don't want to get up, don't want to do something, just don't do it again the next day.
Yeah.
Right? You can eat that pizza and beer that one day, but just don't continue that, right? Like
bingo night.
Exactly. Yeah, it happens. Just don't let it be a habit.
Yeah, I like that. What are just two last questions? What are some goals for the future other than powerlifting?
This one will be my first powerlifting meet. This is kind of like using it to feel it out.
Yeah, it's like a template.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Make sure that I like it. Make sure that my knowledge of training and everything is where I need it to be. With this new page, I've had probably at least 15 coaches be like, hey, what are your goals? Yeah. What are your ambitions? Who's coaching? What program are you using? I'm like, I want to do this for myself to be able to prove also to myself that I can do this, right?
Yeah.
But if this goes well, then like maybe there's room for that in the future where like I take it a little bit more seriously. But right now it's just having fun, trying to stick to that plan and see if it's something that I want to take seriously into the future. And if it is, the next goal would be another meet with bigger numbers and I don't know, maybe see how far I can take my body to its limit and then.
I like that. How old are you?
37.
37. I love that. Yeah, starting something new. Mm-hmm. 37 is my favorite number.
Yeah. Nice.
By the way.
Nice.
All right, last and final question. This is you're the first person I'm asking this, but I'm going to start asking everybody I do.
Bring it on.
You walk into a room, everyone you've met so far in life is in that room. Who's the first person you're going to and why?
Oh, that's a great question. Probably my dad.
Yeah?
Yeah. Years and years ago, when I was 11, my mom passed, right? So it was my dad that raised me. Lots of nights where he wasn't home, single dad things, right? Like he's working long hours, trying to provide for us. And not in a spiteful way, but like I wasn't a good student, right? Like I didn't, I had to be self-motivated and I wasn't. And I didn't find that until later in life. But for him to be able to look and be like, look what I did and like what you showed me to do, I've achieved a lot. One of the funny things, I bring this up when anybody asks, is that I specifically remember one night, I was maybe like 13 years old, AOL Instant Messenger back in the day. Like it's like 2:00 in the morning, right? And he comes out and he's like, you're never going to aspire to anything sitting on the computer late at night like this. And I'm like, look at me now. Working night shift, 10 monitors in front of me. Like, that's just the irony of life. But
no one saw that coming.
You're right. It's funny how life works in a cyclical manner like that. But yeah, just like, I already, I know that he's proud of me. Like, he's still here living. And like, I know that he knows what I've accomplished, but it's still, I don't know. He did help me get where I am, knowing that he always had my back, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But we had our ups and our downs, of course.
Oh yeah, like
every
every
day,
I mean, single dads.
Yeah.
Good on him.
For sure.
Sorry that I didn't even know. I don't think you told me that you lost your mom.
Yeah,
that
and
That's
it's been 26 years now, but yeah. And that honestly, she'd probably be, if not the first, then absolutely the second. But I also know, like, you know, spiritually, like, she's been watching everything that I do.
Yeah.
So she already knows what I've accomplished, but yeah.
Yeah. I kind of had a change of heart with that too. I would say in my mid-20s, I'm 32 now for anyone who doesn't know. But in my mid-20s, I lost faith for a while.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like my grandfathers were my idols and they passed away in high school.
Yeah.
And I was just that guy, you know, trying to be a hard-nosed, tough blue-collar guy. And I was just like, I don't know, when people die, they just die.
Yeah.
But the past few years, man, it's such a mindset shift. When anything good happens now, because you're in a good headspace, like you want to talk to them, but you also feel, sounds weird, but you like you feel like they're smiling down on you almost, you know. And when when I'm being an idiot, I can like just see their faces, like, Tim, what are you doing?
Yep, that's absolutely.
Similar with my father too. Like he wasn't a man that spoke much.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't lose my mother, but he didn't speak much. So like growing up, I didn't understand it. I was just like, well, he works a lot, but and then he would make me work the summers in high school with him.
Yeah. And
at the time, I was like, what is this teaching me? Like, and then all of a sudden, you get older and it clicks, and you're like, that generation just showed you. They didn't tell you. Mm-hmm. They didn't have to tell you anything.
That's right.
They showed you.
Sure did.
And they really led by example. Yeah. So it's cool that you had that.
Yeah.
What would be one thing that you'd say to your mother if she was here?
Oh man. I don't know if there's anything like specific, because like we said, like I feel like they're always watching down on you. They know everything that's going on. I think there's a lot of times that we lose track of ourselves though.
Yeah.
Like faith is like one of those things, right? Like I find that, like, again, with ebbs and flows, like I've got my moments of, like, we're going to go to church every weekend, we're going to read the Bible, and then hit these lows where, exactly, like you just fall off that wagon.
Gets in the way or whatever.
Yeah. Or like moving here, like I didn't find a church right away that I vibed with, and then I started working Sundays, and then like that whole situation just kind of fell off.
Yeah.
Right. Like you lose the momentum of it. And I think it would be along those lines of, like, there used to be a point in my life where, like, every night, like, I'd go to bed and, like, just have, like, a conversation with her, right? Like, and then there's plenty of times that I didn't, and then I think I'd probably be along those lines of, like, sorry for not communicating more.
Yeah.
So.
I'm sure, just like your dad, I'm sure she's proud of who you
I would
have
think
become.
so. I would hope so. I feel like
you've done a lot. I mean, that's a lot. Even going through that on your own, through high school and everything, that's a lot to become the man you are today. Like, I respect the hell out of you.
Thank you.
I'm happy that we met and everything.
Yeah,
like,
you too.
Showed me things. It's great for, obviously you're only 5 years older, but it's great for me. I have a lot of friends. Like, my close, 4 or 5 friends are all late 30s, 40s, and I couldn't ask for a better setup than that. Because it's like they keep me grounded. Because they've already been crazy or whatever.
Yeah.
They've already had their phases. They've had this. So it's like I can call them and they're just like, dude, just calm down. Like, this is, it's going to happen or whatever. Yeah. Or even, or I feel like even with them, sometimes I bring that young energy in and they're like, oh, hell yeah. So it's a good balance. It's a great balance. I'm grateful. I'm grateful we met.
Me too.
I appreciate you doing this today.
It's funny. Just the other day, I was telling Victoria, I was like, she's got like her core group of friends at work. And then, like, I've got, like, some friends at work, but we don't really hang out, like, outside of work. And I was like, I need my buddies to, like, be here. Like, and she's like, well, it sounds like Tim's moving back. And I was like, yeah, he's like, just always down for whatever. Yeah. Like, I was like, I hope he sticks around.
I'm trying, brother. Yeah. I'm trying.
Yeah. But yeah.
Anything else, bud?
No, I think we covered everything on that front.
I appreciate it, man.
Of course, man.
All right, get out there and run with it, folks. Thanks, Jason.
Yeah.